Welcoming all the beautiful youths to Season 3, Episode 3 of The Daily Catholic, How to be a 21st Century Catholic, Part 2. And today we are going to talk about the most wanted topics, almsgiving and fasting. Robbins, what do you think of fasting?
I think when we were discussing this on, what topics we should talk about, a lot of the time, well, what I was thinking is one of the things that I've struggled with is fasting, right? Biblically, there's people are fasting meat, yeah, or mainly meat. So I think from a heritage perspective, my parents have always said, if it's Lent, if it's Advent or whatnot, you have to fast, and it has to be meat. The day it's like, they say kalamari kadamari, similar here.
Yes.
Here, we're like, we don't even like meat that much, or some people like, I don't even eat meat, like, so it's not even an issue for me, so I'm fasting all the time, right?
Yeah.
This day and age, it's gone away to more something like phones, or people like chocolate. People like spending time at doing certain things, right? And it's where it hurts where we have to fast, right?
Yeah.
And I think that's the modern outlook on it as well.
Yeah, and I think when you said phone, I think when we go to work and stuff, sometimes we have to be ready to be you have to be ready to listen to others.
Yeah.
And so more often I've seen even myself, I might just look at the phone on my break.
Yeah.
On their break I could have just talked to someone who is sitting next to me. So even just that 5-minute fasting from phone on
Yeah, I'm
your
a couple
break.
for that as well. I mean, look, generally, because we're always on the phone, right? It's easier to go on a phone than talk to someone and be like, hi, my name is whatever, right? And I don't blame people who do that. But if, like you said, if we keep it in our mind saying, okay, if I don't look at my phone, talk to someone, I'm fasting from my phone.
Yeah, that's like when you're on a train and the person next to you maybe is going through a hard time, and it's only if you take that AirPod away and talk to that person, you will know, and they will probably share. Who knows?
Yeah, and look, in saying that, the best conversations have come from those scenarios.
Definitely.
You don't realize a 1-hour train ride where you're listening to music and how the impact that it has on someone. If someone's sitting next to you, they're forced to. The train's packed, right? They're forced to sit next to you. You have a chat to them, right?
Yeah.
And look, like you said, if they're going through absolute, chaos in their life, this could be their evangelization point or something like that.
And they will speak to you, because there has been one incident where if you have the desire and if you offer them beforehand, even if you're going on the train, just maybe offering the people sitting next to you, God will open ways and they will speak to you. Because what happened to me was I had a placement in hospital, and then I was wearing this cross so patients could see when I was talking to them. And this patient, I was just interviewing him, and then just randomly he was like, oh, I can see that you believe in Jesus as well. So I'm like, yeah, I do. And then he started talking about his faith and how he struggled, and that opened the way for me to speak by God's grace, all glory to him. That opened ways for me to speak to him as well. So it's if you have the desire and if you're ready, and even if you're just wearing something, God will use that to evangelize.
Yeah, I've had a similar one where I was wearing a cross, and then the patient asked me, sister, do you believe in Jesus? And I said, yes, I do. And then he was like, can I pray for you? And I was so shocked. I was like, I've never been asked, can I pray for you, by a patient? And that was such an eye-opener. And I think that is showing how the patient himself is giving his time up for me.
Yeah,
it's a sort of almsgiving. When we look at almsgiving, it's not always about giving money and giving donations, not just the money aspect, but your time, your selfless efforts to help other people grow up and build them up. I think that was a big thing to see someone just giving their time up for me.
Yeah, even oftentimes people think, especially with giving money away, that 10%, because it's written in the Bible, biblically correct for sure. In today's day and age, if we know we can do more, whether it be time, money, the whole lot, we have to give more, because the demands of today's society and the challenges faced by Catholics as a whole is a lot bigger.
Yeah, I heard it in a Daniel Litton's talk actually. He said biblically it's 10%, but if you think you can give more than 10%, if you earn more, some people can give 60, some can give 90, some can give 80, depending on how much you earn. Give tithes. And from experience, from what I've seen in my family, my parents are really strict. When we get the first pay slip every fortnight, they're like 10%, 10%,
Yeah.
10%.
Yeah.
And from what I've seen, the more you give, the more you get.
Yeah,
sure.
guarantee. There's
It's
no
guaranteed, yeah.
excuses on that. And even I remember when I first got my job at the age of 15 or 14, I was at that job. The first thing I said,
KFC.
yeah, KFC. Didn't want to say it, but KFC. My first thing parents said is, "Yep, you got to give the first pay to the church,
Yeah.
the grandparents, parents, etc., etc." And at that age, we're like, "Oh, why do we need to give it? It doesn't make
Yeah.
sense, right?" But we know that habit of giving at the start, if you start giving it from the start, and you know at a young age your parents give you 50 cents, you're putting in 50 cents into the basket, that is what you're going to take into your life, right?
Yeah.
You're going to, where in this day and age where it's not physical money, it's FPOS or whatever,
Yeah.
doesn't matter. You're still, the willingness to give is however it is. And that doesn't particularly mean that you have to put money or you have to give something to a specific church or a specific organization, nothing like that. It's more, are you giving it to God? And God being the wider church, right? It could be direct again if you want. It could be direct in your palli, to your youth group, orphans. However, God's word is being spread. That's where you should invest your alms giving to, I guess.
True.
I think you should look at where the need is.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
exactly. Where the need
Yeah.
is, yeah.
And like in that need today, like there is definitely the need of money, but there's also the need for someone to like maybe share the knowledge. So there's so many people who know about God, who knows the love of God, but like, are we ready to share? Are we ready to give? And like, if one person reads a book, like it might be just a saint's book, like if they're taking the time and effort to read that book and to share that knowledge, it can be beneficial to other people who may not be interested in reading.
Yeah, yeah,
So
yeah.
it's that giving as well.
Yeah, we have a spiritual friend. He has a room full of books. It's all spiritual books. It's a library. And then we slowly sneak in and we ask, can we borrow a book? And then he's always ready to give. He's like, yeah, of course. Which book do you want? Or I will pick you a book. So from what I've noticed from that particular uncle was, it's sometimes not, like we said, it's not money. But when he gave that book, when I read it, I grow so much spiritually. And sometimes I
That's
give
so
it to
true.
my brother and then he said, oh, what a book. And then he grows spiritually. So with all these aspects, whether it might be money or book or just talking to people, you're building that soul spiritually. And with
Yeah.
whatever you do, God is watching. He is
Definitely.
seeing. All these
Yeah.
little things make such a big difference.
Yeah,
Yeah.
of course. And
So
I guess
true.
that's, I mean, in a nutshell, that too is one of the challenges we face as a 21st century Catholic. And today we've explored fasting and we've explored almsgiving. And that wraps up season 3. It's been an amazing journey. I guess you guys can also confirm that as well. It's been very awesome. We're going to be back with more seasons. We're going to go a bit more global, more countries, more people. So catch you guys soon. And thanks for tuning in.